Cells are the microscopic structures that make up all living things. Cells are made up of organelles compacted together in a membrane to perform various functions. Organelles are even smaller structures designated specifically to aid the cell and maintain its survival. Cells that perform similar functions make up tissues, and tissues that perform various functions make up organs like your lungs, skin, and heart. Cells are why you need food, water, and air. Cells that breathe and eat just like you and I. Cells define life.
Start.
One of the most important organelles of the cell is the cell membrane. The cell membrane regulates what goes in and out of the cell. All cells have a cell membrane that encases and protects it. For example, if too much water entered the cell, it would overflow and burst. But if too little entered the cell, it would wilt and die. The cell membrane makes sure it doesn't receive too much or too little. Of course, the cell membrane isn't perfect, and cells can still burst or die. Because they're much more dependent on their environment than animals, plant cells have the added measure of a cell wall, which is like a much beefier.
Okay, so here we have our cell membrane model. These little things right here, those are the hydrophilic heads. They're what absorb the water into the cell membrane through the cell. These things here, we got our hydrophobic tails, and they push the water out of the cell membrane. These things right here are carbohydrates. They identify what goes in and out of the cell membrane. Here, we got a protein channel, and these allow bigger things like glucose to go through, because that's what the cell needs. We also got a sodium-potassium pump, and that ATP bonds with it and stuff, and it allows sodium and potassium to go through it.
And that's how the cell membrane works.